All right. Hello and welcome to the Snowbirds meeting room. I'm Shadow Spectre 11, and I hope everybody had a good night, got some rest, had a little fun, kick back, relax, and enjoy their Saturday evening. Today, I'm going to be talking about the roadmap, gameplay in the PU right now, and this the PU monthly report. So let let's just go ahead and get started and kick it over. All right, so here we are. I'm still running this overlay in the Snowbirds meeting room. Still looking on it, getting it done, and getting everything straightened out. Still working on some things. So let's just go ahead and get started with it. Appreciate the like, and let's do this. Okay, so the roadmap came out on the 26th, and it came with some very interesting things, some notable changes, and here we go. Roadmap Roundup 07/26/2023, 1 p.m. Happy Wednesday. Every 2 weeks, we accompany the roadmap update with a brief explanatory note to give you insight into the decision making that led to any changes. This is a part of an effort to make our communications more transparent, more specific, and more insightful for you all who help make Star Citizen and Squadron 42 possible, which is fair. Okay? So, changes. The progress tracker for the 26th. Following deliverables have been added to the progress tracker. Now, these are deliverables, but being on the progress tracker does not mean that they're going to drop in a heartbeat. Get that perfectly clear, because a lot of people think that when they look at this is something that they're going to put in soon. We don't know. We don't know what's going to come soon. Okay? So, new mission, steal evidence. A criminal mission type where players are tasked with infiltrating security post Korea and stealing files from Crusader security for a hefty payout. Okay? For those that love going to Korea, there's something new for you. Now this one is what I'm very interested in, is new missions with cargo hauling. Now this, we've been talking about. Hey, Shaved, how you doing, man? Welcome. New missions, cargo hauling. This is something that I have been waiting for since I came into the game. Where if this is what I'm reading correctly, okay, you will get paid for doing cargo missions. You don't have to buy. Now, we don't know if that's going to come up where we have to buy. We may be getting missions through the Mobi-Glass and like contracts. And with that makes this a little bit more easier, where if we get that, then people will gather the contract, have the freight elevators bring up the cargo. We don't know if we have to load it yet or how that's going to work. And it's loaded onto your ship. You get paid when you deliver, and you earn reputation. So I've been talking about this a long time, and King Payne and I agreed that this would be a great asset, a great thing for the game, because you're not losing your AUEC. If something happens, you don't lose any money. You may lose your ship and you lose a little reputation, but you don't lose your AUEC. Okay? So the next one, new mission, Steal and Recover Cargo. Steal, Recover Cargo missions will see players recovering and or stealing from both derelict and active ships, then hauling the cargo to its intended destination. That's going to be interesting. Okay. Now, another new mission. Utilizing the repair functionality of the multi-tool salvage attachments, players are tasked to restoring ships from bow to stern, patching up the hull, replacing missing or faulty components, and replacing weapons loadouts in new salvage yard locations. Now, that is cool, because this is a new loop for repair and salvage. Okay. Restoration is putting stuff back together, but using the salvage tool and being able to restore a ship, patching it up, replacing the components and stuff like that, that's awesome. Can't wait to see that. Okay, but we don't know when, so just holding our breath on that one. We'll see. Shop discounts, reputation. Players will have the ability to receive discounts in certain shops based on their reputation with affiliated organizations. So, if you are friendly with all the other, Blackjack, North Star, and the different places like that, you will get a reputation for it, and that's cool. Excuse me for one moment. That's cool. Okay. Reputation, hostility. Players will encounter AI that are either friendly or hostile based on their reputation with the organization the AI belong to. This also includes different friendly fire thresholds and defense responses. Okay. That'll be interesting. Definitely going to take a look into that when it pops up. And sandbox triggers. Reputation. This feature will allow for players to have their reputation increase or decrease with organizations based on their actions in their persistent universe, separate from missions. This in turn will either allow or prevent players from accepting missions for particular organizations. So, what you do out there will make a difference, no matter what. So, if you're lawful, you won't have any issues. If you go to the shady side, there may be some things going on there. And if you're just plain a criminal, you're going to be hunted by. You're going to have a reputation of being a criminal, and that's good. That's something that the game needs, in my opinion, in my thoughts. I think that's going to be kind of slick. Okay, release view, and this is targeting Alpha 320 release, physicalized cargo updates, adding new functionality to accommodate the release of the MISC Hull C. This includes both animated cargo loading and LEO stations, as well as SCU containers up to 32 SCU. Now, those that have been flying the raft, your raft will become better utilized with this aspect. The following card has been added to the release view targeting Alpha 320.x release. So, the A1 Spirit will finally see the light of day. We don't know when it's going to drop. We have no idea. But building, balancing, and implementing Crusader Industries light bomber A1 Spirit into the game. That's going to be awesome. Okay, when it does come out. And we've got new Crusader platforms, new missions, retrieve consignment. Due to encountering several issues with Rastar while setting up locations, these two deliveries did not pass their final review and need additional work before they're released to the live servers. Therefore, these features will remain tentative on release view and will now target a 320.x release while remaining in the 320 column. Okay? That's okay. Yes, Spirit. Chanting. Yes, I'm waiting for a Spirit. Definitely. So, like I said, we're all waiting. The Spirit is going to be a very, very interesting ship. And you know what? Let's see if we can find the Spirit. Crusader. Let's go down to. There we go. That's the one I'm waiting for. That one right there. That's the one I'm waiting for. The C1. Still in concept. Beautiful ship. I just can't get. I can't wait for this one to drop. And just like a few people I know, we're waiting. We're waiting. She's a beautiful ship, beautifully designed. 8 engines with the VTOL of the C2. And she's going to be fast. She's going to be fast. Just an outright beautiful ship. Now we can go to the A1. If I can get my fingers to work here. This is the one that's going to drop first. Now, from what I gather, they were working on the bombing aspect of this to get this to work. So sure hope so. That Can't Hardly Wait was gonna donate the A1 if you already had the C1. I have a C1, and I will be getting donated the A1 if you already had C1. I am already waiting for C1. I want one because that's Angry Bird 1. That's the first. That's Angry Bird 1. Then Angry Bird 2 is the A2, and then no, Mrs. Shadow, I don't want no. No, it's not good for me. On the show. No, thank you. No, thank you. No. Mrs. Shadow's trying to get me to drink something, and I don't. No. No, you made no. Anyway, I'll try it later. Okay. From what I gather, they wanted the C1 to come out. You can't be arguing with Michelle. She's always right. Yeah, you got that right. She's trying to get me some type of health drink, and I'm like, no. Anyway, they were trying to get the bombs and the inside of the ship done first, and this is a new type of weapon that will be introduced to the game. So, to be fair, that's why they're doing this. They decided to go with the A1 first, and it makes sense. New weapon, things like that. But I still am waiting for a C1. I'm still waiting for the C1. I already have that. I am dying to. I do want an A1. Like I said, that's Angry Bird 1. And then the next one after that, the A2 is Angry Bird 2. And then my M2 is Angry Bird 3. So, yeah. It's going to be front line. So, I'm going to take a look at the Spirit as well, since we're here. Now, the Spirit, that's the transport. And that's going to be interesting to fly as well. Just a luxury transport vehicle. I don't see this one coming in very soon. I think it's gonna wait till it has a loop for it. So we'll see how that goes and go from there. Okay, so those are your variants. That's what we're waiting on off the roadmap roundup. And let's go to the next topic, which is, let's go back to the mission spotlight, which just this last week, we did finally get to the Idris and take it down. It was fun. Once we got close, it started to liven up and really be more responsive, and there wasn't a lag issue and things like that once you got close to it. And we had a great time. It was fun and it was enjoyable. Took a screenshot of the Idris when it went down. If you want to see us take it down, near the end of the Thursday night stream, or Wednesday. We were going to be running cargo, but we ended up going against the Idris at the end, and it was fun. We had a good time. So this one is going to run until the 10th. So they still have the ships available to purchase if you're into them. And the screenshot contest is still going on with the prizes at once that's over. Once the screenshot contest is over. All we can do is cross your fingers because it's going to be kind of cool. So, now, to get to the meat of the Snowbird reading room today, going with the monthly report. This started some controversy, I think, but let's see what we got. The PU Monthly Report, July 2023. Welcome to the July's PU Monthly Report, where you'll find the latest development progress on everything related to the persistent universe. Read on for in-depth updates on vehicles, locations, AI tech, maps, and more. Okay. So, AI tech. Hey, Gaming Tribunal, how you doing? This monthly report had some interesting things to see. I did find this. We were talking about this last night. There has been some sites of AI in the bunkers doing some things that were what they were meant to do, what they were designed to do. But the server tick rate was pretty high. It had to be at least 15 to 20. So when the server is working very well, it does kick over and it does do what it's supposed to do, and the AI works. So, to be fair, when they decide, who knows when this is going to happen? We don't know. When we go to better servers, hopefully the tick rate will be better, and we'll see the things that we see when they show cinematics and stuff like that, and demonstrations and stuff. We'll see it and we'll go along with it, and hopefully it will come to fruition. So all of this right here, we just have to wait for it. We just have to wait for it. I don't know what else to say about this, because it's something that everybody wants to see, and when it does come, it comes. You know, animation. Last month, the animation team focused on improving visual results for reloads and takedowns. They also worked on basic idols for weapons and knives, which are planned for release in Alpha 320. They're currently making improvements to player-prone animations and adding an increasing number of players' interactions to improve immersion in specific environments. On the facial side, they continue to support new incoming lines for PU pilots and combatants. Okay. We'll see what goes on with this. It's just going to take a little time. Everything takes time. We just got to hold on. Art characters. In July, the character art team continued working on outfits for the Headhunters and Dusters gang, along This, the character concept team explored ideas for additional Headhunter outfits and prepared handoff sheets for IAE and Luminalia content. So, there's some new stuff that's going on with Luminalia and the IAE. So, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Okay, here we go. This is big right here. This is big. Art ships. In the UK, the RSI Polaris began its white box pass, the Polaris, with a thorough breakdown of the content required. The team imported the concept mesh and completed the basic entity setup. A rough interior white box was completed and several issues with the concept were resolved. Okay, for you Polaris fans out there, it's in starting on white box. Getting closer. Maybe Q1 next year. White box. If to be fair, giving them the opportunity to work on it, and I would say, this is my guess and speculation, maybe a full year and a half. Who knows? Just to be fair, because now turbulence involved, and turbulent may take more of the load and start doing things more. Nah, probably CitizenCon 2024. That's not fair. Who knows? I don't see it dropping early next year Q1. No. But anyway, as yet unannounced ship continued its LOD pass, with majority of tasks completing and a review schedule. The team is currently focused on adding traditionary details to the interior and exterior, as well as finishing the lighting for each phase. Okay, and here we go. The Crusader A1 Spirit progressed through final art, with a handful of LODs remaining for its interior and exterior damage. Work also continued on the C1 Spirit Cargo variant, with many differences being minor exterior changes in the cargo room, the latter of which is currently progressing through gray box, with most of the core frames refined. So there you have it. The C1 is closer to coming through. We already knew this from the roadmap roundup, and the C1 is on its way. Now, the C1, we all know, has a tractor beam on the aft of the ship. So, let's hope the tractor beams are working, because the SRV, that's one that a lot of people are waiting for as well. Work on a new ship variant continued, with dashboard and cockpit receiving attention. The design team also resolved the placement of physicalized components ready for the art team to add at a later date. Another unannounced variant continued through its gray box phase 2. So, in the US, with the unannounced ship, we saw in leaks that there are variants of the Cutter, an Expedition, and a Scout. Gonna be interesting to see how that works. We'll check it out. In the US, the Tumble Storm approached the end of production. Now, I hope, just like everybody else, that the Storm is going to be in Arena Commander in 320. All we can do is cross our fingers and hope for it. We'll see. We have built all damage misses, projected to all UV2s, generated most LODs. We are now just polishing up various parts of the vehicle. Lighting is getting another pass, and we are working with system design to make the most of them procedural and so that they will respond to player interactions and ship our team. Okay, so they're working on the storm, and hopefully they finish it in time for it to drop for 320. Maybe not, maybe 320.1. Who knows? We'll see. Elsewhere, tasks were started for an all-new vehicle. The team began breaking apart the concept and putting together an in-game preview while planning out the work required for the base and its variants. The current plan is to white box all the variants at the same time, then select which version will move into gray box first. So last year at CitizenCon, okay, when the STV was revealed, we also saw the URV. Okay, so that one may be dropping soon. We don't know. We have no idea, but it will be cool. Okay, and here we are. 2 new variants went through LOD 0 phase and are approaching content complete. That could be our cutter. Okay. The team also progressed through LOD for the Apoa Santakiai, filling out item housings and doing heavy paneling work on the exterior. They also came to a solution for the dashboard, which still requires a polish, but delivers a unique aesthetic for interaction. They're currently working with systems designed to get the ship's behaviors to trigger correctly. Now, remember in the ISC before it took its hiatus, the Santakiai couldn't pass because of the dashboard issue. So they're working on it, and I'm glad they are. I look at it like this. That's going to be a flight ready ship. It's not going to be in game to purchase. It is going to be a game that it's going to be a ship that we're going to have to pledge for. And it needs to be up to snuff. It needs to be up to snuff. Plain and simple as that. Okay, finally for ships, the Origin X1 entered gray box stage. Now, I know there are a lot of people that have been waiting for this vehicle to drop. I didn't snag it until IAE, and I got the Apoa Nox as a loaner until this comes out. So they're still waiting on the white box review. The team are working to solve various aesthetic issues while ensuring the overall ship makes mechanical sense. They're also exploring new tools to help generate extreme clean automotive style geometry to maintain the required Origin feel. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Just as long as they're working on it and doing something active. I wonder if production would speed up if they fully focused on one ship at a time, having all teams in their respective areas focused on the same thing, same time. I know there are different functions teams that have to tackle random workings before other tasks are just then get out. But that's a good thought. It's like I would really, really love to see a one team knock out one thing and bring it out. We all would love that. But with the focus on Squadron 42 to get that one straightened out, we won't see that for a bit. Focus on the BMM. Yeah, focus on the BMM. The Merchantman, it was so close, and I don't know what happened. I really can't say. It really did kind of stink when that fell to the side. A lot of people were waiting for that ship. Okay. Audio. July saw the audio team progressing with their task for Pyro, including implementing imperative sounds. Also discussed that they alliterate existing work with Squadron 42. Improvements were made to the flight experience, including updated vibration tech and impact sound effects were also designed and implemented for upcoming spaceship releases. Okay, so they're working on that. There's some sounds that I've been hearing on ships lately that I never heard before, and that's kind of cool. Community kicked off July by launching the Foundation Festival, a month-long celebration of the community with the free fly video tutorial contest, and hosted on the community hub and organization spotlight gallery. Furthermore, with a focus on helping new recruits, the team posted updates on the new player guide implemented in new player chat. Now, unexpected. Yes, they did. And that was cool. Curated media on the Welcome Hub encouraged veteran players to support new recruits by offering rewards for using the guide system. And I'm going to say this. When I did guide sessions, I got all of my rewards. And I did get all 3 of the armor sets that were offered as rewards for being a guide, and I got all 3 of them. So yeah, it was cool, and I got paints and everything like that, and I hope that everybody that I helped as a guide got everything they needed and they wanted, and I appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed it. Later in the month, the community supported the announcement of Turbulence joining CIG. Yes, that was cool. That was big. That was a big thing. The team also prepared for the upcoming return of CitizenCon in-person celebration for all things Star Citizen. They announced a collaboration with Atmo Esports for the event. So Atmo Esports is going to have places for you to get in game and take each other on at CitizenCon, which is kind of slick. I think it's going to be good. And I'm going to be fair and honest. I think CitizenCon, we need to see something tangible. Hopefully, crossing your fingers, we see something for Squadron 42. We need to see something. People need to see something. Okay? So this CitizenCon, just something. Yes. This CitizenCon is going to has to be massive, because of it's been 3 years since the last in-person one. This one's got to be big. This one's got to be huge. They've got to show something tangible for people in this point in time. Just saying. Yes, and I do say that. I'm just saying. Okay. This is kind of shaping up to be the most epic one yet, with the cosplay contests, community booths, and now the biggest dogfighting tournament in the verse, Fight or Flight, coming straight from the show floor as well. We have many more cool surprises in store for you, and we can't wait to see you there, the community team. So we know that there are digital goodies that they are going to feature for CitizenCon. Those that won't be able to make it, the digital goodies will be on sale. For those that attend, they have it included in their ticket. So we'll just have to see what it is. We'll just have to see. Alright, and additional, they were doing the bar citizens and things of that nature, which is good. I would love to attend a bar citizen. Voidwalker Joe did attend one, and he had a great time. He met up with one of the Snowbirds, and it was cool. It was cool. Lastly, community assisted through introduction of brand new Mission Spotlight series, launched a screenshot contest to reward best images from players that take on the Arlington bounty missions. And that, like I said, that was awesome. It was fun. I enjoyed that very much. It was great. It was great. Okay, with the engine. Okay, this is the core engine. This is dealing with the software that's running the game. And I don't know a whole lot about this. I really don't know a whole lot about it at all. I just know that this is what makes it or breaks it, you know? And I don't have a whole lot to say about this. So we're going to features. July saw the feature team experimenting with skill progression. Skills, here we go, which involves players performing specific in-game actions to make them better at similar activities. For example, building up strength will allow players to carry heavier objects with fewer penalties, while performing takedowns will open access to quicker and quieter action sets. For player transversal, the team began implementing a sliding mechanic. If a player tries to crouch while sprinting, they will perform a short slide before entering the crouch stance. Interesting. The speed of the slide is determined by the starting speed of the player, and the distance may depend on factors such as the roughness or angle of the terrain. The player will automatically stop when reaching an obstacle, as the prime use case for this feature is to allow players to slide into cover, which is slick. That's going to be cool. I do know this. Some of the AI do things that players can't. And we've seen it. So, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. Gameplay features. Continue to work on the new vehicle tractor beam, which will also bring improvements to existing tractor beams. July's task included first iterative test of core balancing in the UI. This is gameplay. Additional team progressed resources network, which will include features like engineering gameplay and life support. They also worked on several prototypes for salvage munching gameplay and are currently discussing the best fitting technical solution with all dependent teams. Finally, they made improvements to mining for Alpha 320 based on community feedback, including updates to stability and predictability when mining. A big thank you to the very valuable feedback that was provided. Being big shout out to a helpful community gameplay feature team. Okay. Interesting, but not going to hold your breath until we see something. Okay. Mission. Okay, so last month mission features embedded QA testers, supported the developer of Ship Trespass by giving their feature rigorous destructive testing. As we know, Ship Trespass did not make it. It's not going to come until later. It was slated for 320, but it was put on hold until they can figure some things out. And that's cool. Figure out what you got to figure out before you put it in there. Okay? The retrieve consignment missions pass final review and are currently being polished and balanced. Alongside this, the current underground facilities were replaced with Rastar to fix a variety of issues and make irritating them easier. And that was the latest ISC. And I may run that real quick just to get an idea of what we're going to do with that. And let's go to the next thing. Hold on one moment. Let me check something really quickly. No. Okay. We're all good. The next thing. Progress was made also on the new global event, Blockade Runner. A working prototype was shown to the game directors who approved the development. Now, we all know that the Nine Tails lockdown, you run a blockade when you're supporting the station. Okay? This is a new global event. So we don't know exactly what it is. It may be an updated version of Nine Tails Lockdown. We have no idea. No idea. Okay, initial planning for cargo missions was completed with all dependencies identified. The team are now looking deeper into the reputation system to improve the wider delivery and hauling mission gameplay loop. I am waiting for this to come to fruition. Just like I was saying earlier in the roadmap, that's going to be cool when it hits. Steal and recovery cargo missions were also prototyped and show the directors and are making good progress. These will see players either recover cargo from a disabled ship or disable and board ships before securing the cargo. So that's something that was already in the roadmap roundup. And this week we should have another roadmap roundup coming up. Okay? Finally, code work began for Reputation. Progression within the Reputation scopes will give players discounts on various purchasing, including items, refueling, and repair. Mission features also picked up their reputation-based hostility system, which will see NPC orgs more willing to attack those who have a negative reputation with them, while providing benefits to those with a positive standing. So if you do some things that Ninetail recognizes that you are kind of on their side, you're going to get perks. If you don't do things for Ninetails or something like that, you're going to have bad reputation with them and they will attack you more. Yeah, that is interesting. That is interesting. I think that's going to be cool when it does drop. Okay, so graphics, VFX programming and Planet Tech. Right now, I don't know a whole lot about this, and I'm not going to try to, excuse me, go overboard about it because I don't know a whole lot about it. But there have been stability issues with the graphics. We've been seeing a lot of stuttering, and we've been seeing a lot of graphical glitches, issues. As long as they fix the grainy clouds in the upper atmosphere, I'm good. That's I you know what, Tribunal, to be totally honest and fair, the clouds on Area 18 do have that grainy look, and they do when they were first dropped in. But you know what? It still looks good from a distance. When you get close, that's when you see it more. But I still am in awe about those clouds on that. So here, AMD's memory allocation API was integrated into the Vulkan backend, improving system stability. True. Also, sometimes them clouds mess with the HUD on the ship. Yes, they do. The HUD gets blurry. The HUD gets blurry. And I've been seeing a lot of that lately in the gameplay. I've been seeing that a lot. So, yeah. With the Vulkan backend. So, we're still waiting on the Vulkan API. And when that comes into the game, it's going to make a whole big difference. It'll be more optimized. You'll have more ways to clean up the game, so it's easier to get into, and you can turn things off, turn things on, give it a more custom experience for your PC, and enjoy it. Some of these things I don't know. I don't want to talk about them because I don't know all the particulars. I'm just going to be fair about that. Last month, in-game branding continued building various assets for upcoming event and worked alongside locations on navigational signage for New Babbage. And they also began work on underground facilities, working closely with concept and sandbox teams on different mock-ups for commercial lobbies. Yeah. Progress was made on final touch-ups for Pyro too. Okay. I would like to see and Void Walker Joe said this when he dropped by yesterday, that New Babbage may be the next spot. No, Loreville may be the next spot for the new player experience to be implemented. And to be fair and honest, Loreville needs it. Loreville needs it. Loreville can be very, very confusing on Hurston, and there are times you can get lost. I started there on Loreville and I got so lost, I moved to Microtech. Even before the patch dropped, I moved to Microtech when I started playing. Yes, I did. I mean, I was like totally lost. It was like so frustrating, and I didn't have the game set up like I have it now, where it was running smoother, so everything was it was so choppy, and it was so frustrating. And I just I just packed everything up that I had, put it in my ship, and moved to Microtech and set my spawn point there so I didn't have to go back there because I could navigate better over there. And once I turned up my video setting and my video card settings and everything like that, I was fine. But I didn't know that at the time. Working out the tram system is a messy affair after you leave the hab. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Now I know where things are in Lorville. I mean, it took me some time to go over there and check it out, but yeah, you can get totally lost there. And Orson, if you didn't read the signage, you wouldn't know where to go get your parts or visit the Crusader showroom. So signage is a big thing, but not a lot of people look at it, just to be fair. Okay, July saw the Interactables team close out and polish their work on Pyro's consumables and shop and prop content. They also created content for Subscribers Flare. Now, I have to admit, the Subscribers Flare for this month was kind of cool. Even though it's just a jacket, it's slick. I like it. Let's go back there real quick. I thought these jackets were cool. Not too much of a fan of the Murray Cup one, but the Mist jacket and the Origin jacket, those are awesome. I think they're slick. Love it. Love it. So, let's go back to the monthly. Locations. EU team continued working on Pyro's rundown stations with focus on complementing polish tasks. They also improved the signage around New Babbage, improved the bug fix and the new Crusader platforms, and also worked with mission features on new content. The Sandbox team progressed with outposts for Pyro and continued their extensive work on the updated ground facilities. Improvements were made to Pyro's plants, and new technology for the new clouds was looked into. Okay. Locations. July, Montreal locations team progressed with additional derelict settlements which passed gray box before moving into their final phase. Progress was made on underground facilities too. Once the above content is observed, the team will return to the ongoing building interior mandate. That looks good. That looks cool. Narrative. As we know, Narrative. Last month, Narrative team continued syncing with various design teams to push development on Pyro, specifically focusing on mission content, local missions providers, establishing the tone and voice of how missions will be presented, and examining how the overall mission system will change when the new system is added. To answer the last one, it's led to some interesting discussion about missions that cross over from Stanton to Pyro and vice versa in their team. Okay? Elsewhere, the team supported the Mist Cold Sea by implementing the latest version of air traffic control behavior, which will allow players to request a landing spot to load and offload their cargo. This also led to resurrecting work on the overarching ATC behavior with some potentially exciting updates that will be discussed in the near future. Yeah, they need to work on the ATC. Just saying. But when it works well, right? You can actually see the face come over your screen and they talk to you, which was pretty slick. The narrative team also expanded to include two dedicated narrative designers who will bridge the gaps between narrative design and AI. They will look at all NPCs from mission givers to population characters and redefine their behaviors to make them feel even more alive and ultimately establish the tone and flavor of the game's various locations. For example, to make people of Hurston feel distinct from the people of Orison. Okay? That's cool. Online services. Okay, this is a big one. The online services team spent the month of July refining the new inventory ID feature and addressing issues that came up during the formal QA testing pass. Time was also spent working on their plan to refactor several of the back-end services to gRPC as well as modernize with them with new fight features. Lastly, they researched anti-cheat sanctions and enforcement. Okay. R&D. Further updates were made to atmosphere and volumetric cloud rendering. There you go, Tribunal. Guided sampling used in the cloud Ray Marcher and was updated on last month's improvements to transmitting profiles. The profiles themselves receive additional filtering, stochastic resampling to reduce occasional block artifacts and due to professional reuse. Moreover, discrepancy used sequence of sample offsets and that are used to set up rays for ray marking over time. Based on recent research publications, cloud shadow maps can now be stochastically filtered, which considerably improves performance and render quality. The new temporal render mode will use the stochastic texture filter by default. Okay. And okay, that's pretty much it. The UI made improvements to data high screen throughout July, which involved working closely with recent features. They also worked on a style variant for screens throughout Pyro. The core technology improved building blocks, runtime performance, okay, which reduced the CPU footprint. Okay, involved coding. Interesting. The team also continued adding features to bindings and building blocks, including a color picker, widget, and step lines for the designer. Interesting. Okay. Finally, UI worked alongside graphics to develop new internal map to help players navigate the game's complex cities, planets, and capital ships. Yes. That's one thing you need is an internal map and a navigation system on your helmet. Plain simple. That's something that really needs to be implemented. This will be a new game changer for players and we're really excited by its progress. Okay? VFX. The VFX team continued work on the interiors and exteriors of several Pyro locations. The visual style of these locations differs greatly from Stanton-based areas, which has been a welcome challenge for the VFX artists, both technically and artistically, the VFX team. They also completed their VFX pass on size 5 bombs and 3 upcoming vehicles. The size 5s are in the A1. That's That's what they were working on, trying to get the A1 bombs ready, because those are the size 5s. So that is the monthly report of the PU. Like I said, there's certain things that I don't know about, and I don't feel comfortable talking about them because I don't want to give the wrong information. But when the Squadron 42 report came out, and they said they were close to beta, that started something that should not have been started. To be fair, and Voidwalker Joe said this, and I kind of reiterated on because this is my thought too. But certain points of the game, certain aspects of the game, are going to beta, not the whole game itself. Not the whole game itself. So there's certain parts that are going from an alpha stage to a beta stage, but not the whole game itself. Just to make that clear so people know. Okay? It is something that they really need to be very, very precise in what they're saying. That, okay, we're going to beta on chapter 1. And that's it. You don't know what else, because the whole game has to be in a beta before it's even going to be released. Everything all together has to be in a beta state, not just one part. So that's how I see it. But anyway, I hope everybody enjoyed this. I am going to plan a conference with the Snowbirds and the Warbirds on my Discord server. We're going to, because last night somebody said this would be a good idea. We really need to get together and talk out of game and just talk and get your feelings out there and let us know how you feel, what you're feeling. Okay? Snowbird Meeting Room is totally something different, but this is going to be for my organization, and we all get together and just talk about stuff. And I think we should do that once a month, just to see how it feels and see how the players are feeling, how my organization's feeling, and we throw out ideas to each other and get some ideas of what we want to do in the game, and talk it out. I think that would be cool. It sounds good, Shay? Yeah, I agree. Good stuff. The monthly report was good this month. There's some things I don't know about, and I'm not sure how to explain it. So I won't speculate on something that I'm not comfortable with. But I hope everybody enjoyed this. I will see you all later today, because we will be going out and doing some exploration. I did have a request from one of the viewers today. So this afternoon we are definitely we're going live. I had a request for a stream today. Okay, no worries. So our exploration mission's going live today. Okay, so I hope everybody enjoyed it. I appreciate it, and thank you. And everybody take care, and I will see you later on this afternoon and on my main channel. This is Shadow Spectre 11. Have a good day.